Hey everybody, this is Rob with the Trucking Resources channel, and today's video I'm going to talk about my top trucking YouTube channels that I love to follow. I have a whole bunch of things in editing right now, but I got nothing ready to go, and this is something I was thinking about doing because I said I was going to put out trucking resources, basically resources to help you in trucking. And actually where I get most of my resources from is YouTube. Friends I know, things like that. But I can find almost anything on YouTube anymore, and that's what I wanted to be part of, is this whole community of us helping each other out. So today I'm going to talk about my favorite channels as of now. And the other reason I wanted to do this is because to have people comment and tell me channels that maybe I haven't seen before, which is pretty exciting because there's so much good content out here. But I'm going to start out here. I actually have 8 to talk about. I'm going to talk about the top 7. That's only because there's a tie at number 1. And there's a reason for that. It's because one of my number 1s isn't going to help everybody. The other one will help anybody in trucking, or at least entertain anybody in trucking. So let's go into this. I'm just sitting back having a couple beers. Now I wanted to show clips of them, but I'm not sure how that works with copywriting and stuff, so I'm not going to. So as I get to them, I'm just going to say their name below. I didn't look into how copywriting works. If I stole somebody's YouTube video and put it on my video, I don't want to offend anybody. But I will say their names. You'll see it right down here. I'll actually put it up who it is, and I'll explain a bit about who they are. Now as we're going into this, let me tell you that somebody who didn't make the cut, and this is really weird to me, somebody who didn't make the cut is the Asian Mai Show. I heard that he changed his name to Mother Trucker. I have seen a video or two of his, but for some reason he doesn't pop up on my feed much. I told some of my friends that I was going to make this video, and they're like, what about Asian Mai? I was like, or Mother Trucker. I'm going to go with Mother Trucker because I believe that's his most current name. It hasn't popped up on there much. I've seen 1 or 2 of his videos, and they were great, but I didn't realize he was as big as he is. And he actually, I have the computer up here in front of me. Let me see. I know he's actually one of the leaders here in this. Yeah, he has 381,000 subscribers. So I'm sorry. I'll get back to that. I'm going to watch a lot of his videos because I did dig through it a little bit and they look pretty cool. But he doesn't make the list right now, and it's only because for some reason whatever parameters are set up on my, my feed, or what everybody I've learned just comes up when I, hit the home page. But let me start out here. Number 7 on my list. Now remember, this is like number 7 of 8. Because I have two number 1s, is Twin Stick Garage. I love Twin Stick Garage. You can learn some things from him on restoration, but overall it's just fun to watch. On his video feed, on his video channel, he has 128,000 subscribers. He started out, I believe he actually started out when I started watching him, he was restoring a 359 Peterbilt. Has like a double bunk or long, I guess about a 48-inch sleeper, flat top sleeper on it. It's blue, nice truck. He talks about all kinds of different resources he found getting this truck. Up to par. It seems like most of the work he does alone. He's got a pretty nice garage, or he started with a pretty nice garage. I'll get to that here in a minute. So he worked on this 359 for a while. Then he started working on I forget what year he said. It's not the right year. For the Smoking the Bandit tribute truck, Snowman's truck. I know it's not the right year, he said, but he is looking for everything perfect on this. By the way, that truck is not black with brown stripes. Watch his videos to see what the actual color of it is. It's pretty interesting. During this, he built a new garage, 3-bay garage to work on these trucks in, and he's just a lot of fun to watch. You will learn some things from him, but overall, it's mostly entertainment. We go to number 6 here, Large Car Magazine. I love Large Car Magazine. I have loved them since the day they came out. Large Car Magazine is owned by Steve and Michelle Ford. I know Steve Ford. I've met him a couple times. He started out down in, I guess it was just him taking pictures of trucks years ago down in Fredericksburg, Virginia area. Fredericksburg, Virginia area. Take pictures of trucks. And he grew up this magazine. His magazine has an online edition, has a print edition, and now he also has a YouTube channel. His channel is basically just following around cool trucks, whether he's sitting alongside the road and videotaping you as you're going down the road. He has some where he drives down the road and they pass you and then he passes back. He knows how to make great videos. By the way, I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. My phone number starts with 717. Steve believes that 717 is where the large car was born. In fact, so much so that he moved up from Virginia to Strasburg, Pennsylvania. But that's just my tooting my hometown's horn. So he follows this around. He also has people that work for him taking pictures at most recently they're coming up at Walcott, or he has his own show, or his own truck show down in Lexington, Virginia every year. Just great stuff. Like I said, this is just seeing cool trucks. He just takes pictures of cool trucks, videos of cool trucks, all of that. This is one that's just fun to watch. And you know, they are a small company that started from nothing. Love Large Car. Subscribe to their channel or subscribe to their print magazine or any of that. It's just, you're going to love it if you love large cars, if you like show trucks. If you don't, that's okay. So let me go on to number 5 is TAT Express. Right? Yes, TAT Express. TAT Express is a diesel repair shop in Dallas, Texas. They have a YouTube channel. The guy who runs it, I don't know if he ever says his name. If he does, I'm sorry. I miss it. I enjoy it because he has some videos that do pertain to me and some that don't. For instance, looking up here, DD15 Detroit diesel engine, DD15 maintenance intervals. That really doesn't mean much to me. I don't have a DD15. Maybe someday I will. It's a great engine. And then I will go back and look at his videos. But he has another one here where he looks at the one box on the DD15. And for those of you who don't know what a one box is, most DD15 owners do. It's it's an issue that's come up a lot with owner-operators lately, and he does talk about how to maintain a one box, things like that. He also has a video on here, AC not cooling. So he talks about how to fix the AC. One of his videos I watched recently was how to grease a semi. I know how to grease a semi. I know how to grease my truck. But he's actually a professional mechanic, so maybe I'm missing something. Like, what if he I'll watch the video, and what if he talked about one grease point that I'm missing? Wow. Wouldn't that be horrible if I hadn't watched the video? And he goes in depth on different things. There was one video I watched once. It was how to change a wheel seal, and I wanted to make sure I was doing it right when I was changing wheel seal on my truck. He pulled a Volvo in, changed the wheel seal. By the way, he also has a truck lift in his shop. Pretty sure I will never have a truck lift in my shop, but man, wouldn't that be awesome? But like I say, it's a bit intimidating because he is a mechanic, and the tools he has are tools that we will not have if you're doing DIY stuff. But still watch it and learn the different ways. He talks a lot about safety, things you may not notice, things you should look at, like even with a new seal when you're putting it in, things like that. So that is TAT Express, and TAT Express Inc. he's under. Yes, great channel to watch and one of my favorites. Number 4 that I have on here is FSC Trucking. FSC, it's right there. FSC Trucking. So I watched this originally just because of the truck the guy drives, and that's what interested me a little bit, and then I got into his channel. His name is Steve Fezchek, which I'm actually going to have to look up when I write it down there. Steve Fezchek. His name is interesting, but I believe he's from Wisconsin. But he drives around. He runs a 1984 362 Peterbilt. He calls it Orwell. I assume that's Orwell. I assume. He always starts out introducing his truck, Orwell. What's really funny for your old timers who have been around for a little while is I'm pretty sure this truck is either an old Keen leasing truck or an old Chrysler truck. Keen owned Chrysler for a while. My dad used to work for them. I could tell from the paint job on it that I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But it's interesting. He just basically shows what he's doing. Going down the road. I'm delivering here. I'm picking up here. I'm loading this. He pulls a step deck. He has great camera angles. He'll go down the road with cameras on the trailer, facing backwards, facing front, him talking while he's going down the road in this old truck. At one point I thought, is this guy just a poor old trucker that decided to buy an old truck that's one of the coolest trucks ever made, in my opinion? But is he just a poor old trucker, or does he just do this because he wants to? Well, there's one video where he actually blew out the rears on his truck, and his wife brought rears to him in his pickup truck, or her pickup truck, whatever it was, him and his wife. So, and it is a beautiful new GMC. I think it's a diesel, I don't know. But clearly this guy is running this truck for a living because he loves the old school trucking. The mechanical engine, the cab over, it's cool watching him drive it. It's cool watching the truck go down the road. I love FSC Trucking. Steve, thanks for putting this out there for us. Number 3 that I love is Trucking and Fixing with Ryan. I don't know Ryan's last name. I do know. So here's how it started. I was looking for, I forget what project I was doing my truck. Had something to do with rear end, whether it was just changing brakes, something else, I don't know. And I looked for something. He had it on there. He was basically DIYing in his backyard or wherever he actually was. He was outside working on it. Turns out he was an ex-truck mechanic who became an owner-operator. It was interesting because he was leased to Landstar, I believe. But then he gave up the truck. I don't know if he sold it. I don't know if we ever knew that. But he opened a shop. Him and his wife opened up a shop again. He wanted to go back into truck repair. The shop on his website here is Fox Truck and Tractor, LLC. He's in Canton, Ohio. But he does sometimes short videos, sometimes long videos. He's done some recent videos that were, I thought were pretty interesting. So one of the ones I recently watched, it was an 04.
Hi.
It was an 04 Freightliner Columbia that's been sitting for 8 years. See what problems it has. And it was a great condition truck, but he went in and showed, where dry rot may occur, or different things you should look at with a truck that is in great condition that sat for a while. I'm looking here. He did a Cat C15 front main seal removal. Obviously that pertained to me, but wouldn't pertain to most. He showed how to do it's a damaged thread repair, install helicoil on a front case. And that was of a Cat C15, but I imagine a helicoil repair is the same on most of them. VAD vibration in your semi-truck. Check this now. He starts talking about your drive shaft, your carrier bearing, your U-joints, how you can actually send your drive shaft out and have it balanced. Super interesting. He is, it's not entertaining in the fact of looking at big trucks and this and that, but it is very, if you want to do some DIY repairs and you're an owner-operator. you might find what you want on his page on YouTube. It's, again, that is, yeah, Trucking and Fixing with Ryan. I assume his last name is Fox, since it's Fox Repair, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, thanks, Ryan, for all the great videos you put out. Number 2 on my list is Gordon Robertson DIY. Do it yourself. I assume his name is Gordon Robertson. I believe I've learned that he's from Missouri. I'm pretty sure he's from Missouri. He might be from the Kansas area. Whatever he is, he's in like true Midwest. It shows up in his videos because sometimes there's snow, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's warm. One of my favorite places in the world. Gordon Robertson drives a 1997 FLD Freightliner. I'm pretty sure he's never washed this truck as long as he's owned it, or even cleaned the interior. You'll see in some of the videos, but that's okay because he is all about maintenance and he knows how to do it. He also knows how to do it in his backyard or side yard. I don't know where he's at. The truck is never in a shop. He's always working on the outside. Sometimes he works on some other friends' trucks. But he has different videos. He says that he was a welder. He says, I learned truck mechanics when I started driving a big truck many years ago. Before that, in the late 90s, I was a welder for a few years, and I was an auto mechanic in the late 70s and 80s. Apparently, he also owns a part-time business doing tree and stump removal. I don't watch every video he does. His truck has a 12.7 Detroit. I don't own any 12.7 Detroits, but I actually still watch the videos when he's working on them engines. I'm pretty sure I'm going to own a 12.7 Detroit. I have in the past. I used to love the engines. I just don't happen to have one right now. But like his last videos, he replaced some sensors on there. His fuel gauge was jumping around, so he actually replaced the fuel sending unit. He has one here talking about replacing the air governor on this truck. These are some of the smaller ones. He actually did a big job. He's a flatbedder, and he did a big job doing some welding, other things on the flatbed. I actually didn't watch that. I pull Landstar trailers. I didn't own it. I didn't watch them. But there's just so much good stuff I learned. I love this guy. Like I said, sometimes he makes his own tools. Sometimes he owns the tools. He tells you what tool he's using, and a lot of times he runs to Harbor Freight for tools, whereas actual shop mechanic may talk, hey, I waited for my Snap-on guy to get here and paid $6,000 for this tool. And Gordon Robertson will say, well, I made this tool by welding 2 pieces of metal together, or I ran to Harbor Freight and got this because us guys who work on our own trucks, we don't always need the fancy Snap-on tools, things like that. But he showed, I'm looking at some other videos here, like replace door latch striker on 97 Freightliner. Shows you how to do that. Gordon Robertson, in my opinion, in the videos I've watched, is just a good old boy, and he'll show you how to get the job done no matter what. He also pulls off some pretty weird stuff as far as tools or random ways that maybe a mechanic would be like, oh, you can't do it that way, but he does it that way. And a great resource, especially if you have an old FLD or if you have a Detroit. But either way, every truck driver who wants to do any work themselves should be watching Gordon Robertson DIY. Great guy. Great guy. I assume he's a good guy. He makes great videos. Now, let's do my number 1. Like I said, I have 2 of them. I said before, there's a reason I have 2 of them. One will not pertain to everybody. So I'm going to actually start with that one. This guy's been one of my favorite people to watch for a long time. But he's a Cat mechanic. He's a Caterpillar mechanic, and I have Caterpillar engines, and I've watched pretty much every video he's made. There's a few I haven't, because they didn't pertain to me. Maybe they were about C7 cats or something like that. But every cat guy out there watching knows what I'm going to say. It's Adept Ape. which is funny because he actually has the funniest name on here, and he's probably the most knowledgeable person I've seen on here in his expertise, which is Caterpillar engines. His name is Josh. Josh with the Adept Ape channel. He always starts out, hey, this is Josh with the Adept Ape channel. He has 196,000 subscribers. And his videos are second to none. Even if you don't have a CAT engine, you can learn something from him. Now, I don't know, he shows how to do injectors, shows how to do this. I don't know how that would change if you had a Detroit engine or if you had a Cummins engine. I don't know. But if you are a CAT owner, you need to start watching his videos. Even if you're not going to do all the work on your own, you need to watch his videos. He will show you different things. He lists different problems that could happen. Talks about how to identify your engine, different engine choices. Like I have a C15 A-Cert. I have two of them, C15 A-Cert CATs. And he talks about the difference between that, the 6NZ CAT, the 2WS, the 1LE. He talks about all the difference over the years of these engines. And I've learned so much from him. This guy has saved me so much time. Here's the biggest claim. One of the most dangerous things you can do to your truck, maintenance-wise, doing yourself, is running your own overhead. I always want to run my own overheads. I know how it's done, but it's pretty technical, and I don't know that I ever would have trusted myself to do it, even reading a book or something. He broke it down. I actually run my own overheads on my truck. I will run the overhead valve adjustment, everything based off of his video where he showed how to do it. I have bought specific tools because he will break out specific tools. I don't want to go on too far because, like I said, he is Caterpillar specific. But to me, Adept Ape, you are the god of Caterpillar engines, and I thank you so much for all the time that you've saved me. Just so a couple years ago, I had a IVA or VVA. He always says IVA, VVA. They called them both. The solenoid go out on my truck. Very common in A-Cert engines. I was on the road. I stopped at a Kenworth dealer. Even though it was for my Peterbilt, it's okay. It's a CAT part. I knew the part number because he showed it to us in the video. I walked inside. I said, I need this. I knew what to do. I walked out to my truck. I removed the valve cover for where the check engine code was showing me. Removed the valve cover. Took the old part out. Put the new part in. Which was not just unbolting and rebolting. It really was, but there was a few technical things that you had to do that I would not have known if I hadn't seen a video that he did about this. One is when you put the part in it, the part is only about this big. It's like the size of a quarter, maybe a $half, and only about, 2 inches tall. You put it on, there's actually screws in the top of that are already in there. Once you install it, you actually take them screws out so it can do its job. It's made to hold the thing in place. I never would have known that if I hadn't seen the Adept Ape video. So, thank you, Josh. Thanks for the great videos. Now, let me move on. Take a beer break. Now, let me move on to my other number one. Like I said, I was going to make Adept Ape number 2, but I couldn't because I love his channel. He had to be number 1. But so my other number 1 on here, my second number 1, is Gentry and Sons Trucking. I love this family. I almost feel like I know this family. Anybody who follows them feels like you know them. Tim Gentry he's younger than me. I don't know how old he is, but he has a trucking company in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Pretty sure that's where he's from. Let's see if it actually lists. I know he's down there. He's in Tennessee. He owns about 20 trucks, I think he said. 20-some trucks. Some hot shots, but mostly big trucks. He buys trucks when he can, but he buys older, has a lot of cab overs, has all kinds of different stuff his family's into. He has a beautiful wife that works with him. Sometimes she shows up on the videos. I believe she has her own channel. She does other stuff on. His dad is his head mechanic, or is a mechanic, does the work on the trucks. His son, I think he has 3 kids. I'm not sure. But his oldest, Braxton, is always with him. It seems like he's always with him on these videos. That's near and dear to my heart because I grew up in trucking. My dad was a truck driver, and I loved trucks since the day I was born. And my mom always joked. She said that my first word was truck, but I couldn't do the T, and it actually started with an F, so it was a little bit funny. I did get the R, though. It was fruck. But anyway, I remember learning how to drive a truck. I remember my dad teaching me how to drive a truck. And I see Braxton, he's 10 years old. I think I was about 12 when I actually learned how to drive a truck, 12 or 13, and Braxton's 10 years old. And in one of the videos, he blindsides a truck into on their property. And a lot, he blindsides a truck around, and he's constantly moving things around, and it's just it's near and dear. I love this family. I could probably talk about them forever. How much I enjoy their videos. I love when they pop up, but I'd rather you just go and watch it. It's Gentry and Sons Trucking. He has 187,000 subscribers. And I believe when I started watching him just a few months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I think he had 100. So I got to believe most people watching my channel know who he is. But maybe not. So check it out. Gentry and Sons Trucking. You'll get a lot of entertainment out of them. Just great family. So much fun to watch. It's not all about trucking always either. Sometimes they just run heavy machinery. They do all kinds of weird stuff. Great to watch. But I did this video, and like I said, there was the whole thing that I started out with the Mother Trucker channel, where I really didn't know who he was until I said I was going to do this, and some people pointed it out to me. So please comment below. Tell me channels I need to watch. Because there's so much great content on YouTube that we can find out, learn different things, or just entertain ourselves. There's some times where I need to learn something, I look it up, and I'm looking for something specifically to learn. There's other times where I just want to be entertained. I watch Large Car Magazine, I watch Twin Stick Trucking, Gentry and Sons. I watch everything they do as soon as it comes up. But there's so much cool stuff to just watch. Please let me know anything trucking related. Put it down below, so you need to check this out or something. But again, thanks for watching. I'm hoping I get to do more of these videos, based on what you guys tell me I need to look for. Say, watch this. I'm pretty sure Mother Trucker is going to be on the next one. I really feel bad that I didn't include him on this one. I just didn't know who he was until I said I was going to do this video. But definitely, let me know who to watch. Let me know what I'm missing out there, because there's so much information. So, thank you everybody for watching, and stand by for some more pretty good videos. I got some things in editing that isn't quite done yet, and can't wait to put it up. Thanks.